Hello, I'm Jason, and welcome to my anime review for Fate Stay Night's Unlimited Blade Works. This is the TV adaptation of the Unlimited Blade Works routes of the Fate Stay Night visual novels by Kinko Nasu, and it features Rin Tosaka as the main heroine. The original Fate routes, which Studio Dean did an adaptation of, a mix of adaptations in that anime there, but still it adapts the Fate routes, which features Saber as the main heroine. And so you have different routes. Upcoming next is Heaven's Feel adaptation films, which is like a trilogy of films. The first reviews have come out since the film premiered in Japan. Really good stuff I'm hearing so far, and so that's really exciting to hear. I heard one of the best Fate adaptations to date, and so that's really exciting to hear. Cannot wait for it to come out in the U.S. I think in the early November is supposed to come out in the U.S., so I cannot wait for all that stuff there. But for the Unlimited Blade Works TV adaptation, there's a remix of sorts for the 2010 Studio Dean film adaptation here. Haven't really seen that myself. It's pretty hard to find. I think it's on Hulu, but you need a Hulu Plus account for all that stuff there, and so it's not really available anywhere else. Obviously, you could probably buy it on Right Stuff or just Amazon or all that stuff there, but I already have the Fate Stay Night's Blu-rays, and so from the TV 2006 Studio Dean adaptation, so I don't really need any more of that Fate's material there, since I've heard not so great things about this film adaptation of Limited Blade Works, but still the TV adaptation was a pretty good adaptation. I would say it's a step below Fate Zero, because obviously Fate Zero is like the pinnacle of Fate adaptations, and so I heard Heaven's Feel is better than that, so that's really exciting to hear. But I'll put this a step below Fate Zero for me. There's lots of story issues, but still the animation is fantastic. The fight scenes are fantastic as well. Just some character issues and some story issues I have with this TV adaptation here. It's a two-core series, and it's pretty jumbled in the middle of it, when it's pacing issues of trying to get through from point A to point B, and also character development issues, mostly revolving around Shiro, because Shiro is always a very confusing main character because of these different adaptations, and you have different themes going around for each Fate adaptation as well. The Unlimited Blade Works adaptation, it deals with the struggle with oneself as an ideal, and so the whole story behind Unlimited Blade Works is Shiro going up against an ideal of Archer himself. Basically Archer is Shiro from like weird like a parallel universe of some sort of things. I wasn't really too sure what the specifics were, all that there, but in essence, Archer is the heroic spirit Emiya, and he is what Shiro wants to become, a hero that can go around and save as many people as possible. However, Archer does not really see it that way. He wants to stop Shiro from becoming that ideal because he has lived a very not so great life because of his ambitions. And that's really my main issue with Unlimited Blade Works, is that Shiro is a very frustrating protagonist. He has a line where he says he's wrong, but he doesn't care, and so like, why should we care if this is an ignorant protagonist? I get the whole bigger story issues between him and Archer. That stuff is very compelling with their battle in the latter stages of Unlimited Blade Works, but still it's very frustrating to see Shiro admit that he's wrong. However, he still thinks he's right at the same time, and so it's very frustrating because this is a protagonist we're supposed to follow. He's the hero of the story, and so it's very frustrating compared to Rin, who's a very great heroine for the Unlimited Blade Works route. And so with her story, especially with the prologue, that was beginning of Fate Stay Night, where you had a whole story following her the whole time, from her waking up, summoning Archer, all that stuff there. Her perspective from her introduction to Shiro, at least in the anime for here, because I think they've already known each other in school, but for what we're seeing, their first introduction, seeing her perspective from all that stuff there, it's really good stuff. Rin is a very great protagonist, very good tsundere character as well, so it's disappointing because I would have wanted a story with just Rin as the main protagonist rather than Shiro. I think Shiro will look better as a supporting character to Rin, and that's not really how it works. Obviously Shiro is always the present character in all three routes, and so we have to deal with him and his ambitions and ideals, whether they're right or wrong. It's very frustrating because he's very dynamic in that sort of sense in a very bad way, because he's always flip-flopping in his ideals, and he's very choosy about what he wants to pursue, and also his very manly machismo sort of things towards Ren is very annoying as well, and even Saber as well from the Fate routes. His machismo is always getting the better of him against the main heroines of each story. I guess the only flaw with Rin as a protagonist, potential flaw if she was a protagonist, was the fact of the Shinji storyline. Shinji was very despicable. I think there's a moment where he basically tries to rape Rin at one point, and that's very despicable. That's really going over the line for an antagonist character like Shinji. You already hate him at that point, and so you made it even worse with him. And at the end, he gets some sympathy for Rin between his death because of the Holy Grail, and also some sort of redemption for the character as well, since he is saved by Rin for no real logical reason. So that's very strange to me, how they dealt with the Shinji character. There also with Ryder as well. She didn't really get much of a shine. She's just there, not really menacing, but still she gets killed off by the middle of the first core, and so that's pretty disappointing there. Not only a lot of Ryder, but the Unlimited Blade Works route really focuses on Archer, Caster, because Caster is one of the main antagonists in terms of servants. Assassin, his fight against Saber is really fantastic, especially with the camera work and the editing of that battle there. That was really fantastic stuff. Berserker shows up a little bit. His fight with Gilgamesh is really epic, and the story with him and Ilya was very heartfelt and really added more to the death scenes between Hercules, Berserker, and Ilya, especially with Ilya doing her best to sort of be at Berserker's side. And so it's really heartfelt stuff there from Ilya. Some not so great nudity scenes with her, some fan servicey stuff. That's really been much. I know she's supposed to be the lowly character, but still, she has her own show for all the lowly Yuri stuff there, and so I really didn't need that in this adaptation. And so with an uneven protagonist in Shiro, a great supporting character in Rin, probably a co-protagonist, you could call her that in Rin, pacing issues, and some other philosophical things that kind of fell flat to me, and thematic things that fell flat to me. All that was a bit overshadowed, I would say, to the great animation, great fight scenes, and other great things with Rin as well. All that's mixed together. I would have to give this anime adaptation of the Unlimited Blade Works route a B-. It's still really great to me. Like I said before, I would put Fate Zero at the top, and I'd probably put this adaptation at the second totem pole there, and you could probably put everything else with the Fate Stay Night Studio Dean stuff, and also the Fatality universe as well under those as well. And so with all that being said, I'm really excited for Heaven's Feel to see what the adaptation will be for that there. The trailers have been looking great. I've heard good stuff so far. One of the best adaptations for the Fate universe, even better than Fate Zero, and so it's really exciting stuff to hear. Like I said before, I cannot wait for that to come out in the United States, so I can get a check out of this great adaptation, supposedly from reviewers who have already seen it in Japan. And so what do you guys think about this anime? Put your thoughts in the comment section down below. Also make sure to rate this video and subscribe to my show if you have not already. Thank you for watching my anime review for Fate Stay Night's Unlimited Blade Works. Have a nice day. Bye bye.